how diverse we are as a people and as a culture is similar to Europe. We have a lot of people out there that are doing incredible jobs to document our culture on a regional or even on a small tribal level. But I'm one of the very few that's had the opportunity to go out.
Aliens are humans too. You don't believe this? Maybe you might when you watch till the end. In this video, we explore the history of a tribe with an alien living with them for years. This is the true legend of the Kuiper tribe. According to history, they had a glimpse of civilization for the first time because of a mysterious being named Webb. What is the status of the Webb persona that the show mentions? This is when things get fuzzy. This mysterious story begins with von Däniken's 1973 book Gold of the Gods, in which he describes the alleged 1952 encounter between Juan Americo Pérez and the tribe. The story goes that the Mibengokre came upon a creature with an inexplicable stick-like weapon that could crush rocks and trees, and it was dressed in an impenetrable suit made with materials used for baskets. The Mibengokre inhabit a region of central Brazil that is as big as Austria and covered in rainforest. Since neighboring communities are encroaching, they have regrettably battled for a very long time to be able to maintain their land. It started with some unsettling noises coming from the imposing mountain of Saruca Toti one fateful night. For one, you can think of the story of Superman when the ship landed on the farm, scaring everyone. It was just like that, a bright light from the sky surrounding a strange object that was neither a bird nor a dragon, and a stomping bang that shook the forest. Since it was at night, the warriors could not go. They had never experienced this type of invasion, and they did not want to attack an enemy blindly. But by morning, the most courageous soldiers had gone to look for signs of the object. As they climbed the mountain, they smelled something very strange, and suddenly, through the clouds, they saw a giant being with a strange figure. The tribe described it as a massive creature with a shining staff, clothed in white apparel and one eye at the middle of the head. This fascinated and terrified them. But their fear was not just by the appearance, but by the fact that they could not dominate this being. Their weapons were useless, and for one, it felt like the giant was amused by their attacks rather than being defensive. The soldiers were terrified by the giant's ability to make trees and rocks vanish by touching them with a silver rod that shone from the end. Despite this, the fighters for the tribe decided to attack the being, but all of their attempts were met with failure, as the being simply pushed them back with a simple touch of its baton. And when they saw they could not defeat him, they fled. It is mentioned that no one ever went to the place of encounter again. It was so crazy, they named the place the Forbidden Mountain. Their lack of indulgence in this area gave them peace, as the monster did not disturb them again. But if they thought that was the last of it, then they were wrong. Like every other afternoon in this region, young men and women, along with children, were out bathing in the lake when all of a sudden they noticed a male stranger who looked like them, yet was different in every capacity, taking his bath at a far distance from them. But unlike the mountain monster they had heard about before, this foreigner was stunning, tall, lean, and strong, with fair white skin. And he was bathing in the river entirely naked. Of course, like many ancient villages, the leaders of the town were so concerned about the new white-skinned man in their midst that they immediately gave the order to arrest him. The soldiers wanted to attack this man, so they approached him, looked him in the eye, and attempted to speak with him. "Guess what?" he answered. He went one step further and spoke to them in their language. The stranger introduced himself as Webb, which is also known as Starborn or Man of Star. He claimed to have come from heaven, and that he was the one who was attacked by them on the mountain. The soldiers were taken aback and said, "No, we attacked a monster, not you." He laughed and said that it was him, adding that he was wearing a suit to protect himself from the outside world. Despite this, they were still not convinced because of the stark difference. Cody could tell that the soldiers were not buying his story, so he told them to go to the riverbank where they would find his suit, which they did and verified was the same one. He talked about the vines of the stars, which was his homeland, and how his staff was so powerful that it could break mountains and flood Earth with sunlight, which is why people now refer to it as Thundering Baruna. However, it wasn't these incredible feats that won the natives over to him. Rather, it was the way he spoke to them. It was like he understood everyone for who they were, and they became comfortable speaking with him. The tribe members loved him so much that they asked him to move to the village. He became one of them, learning their ways of archery and hunting, and even became much better than the warriors, got married to one of their women, and even had children with her. And for as many things he learned, he gave in double folds. He taught them how to make better spears and bows, and change the structure of the tribe, making the village round with the chief's house in the middle, and preventing them from becoming nomads. He brought about a structure and foundation of civilization for this people. However, good things last long, but not that long. His behavior began to change, and the tribe could see it. Almost every day, he would cause trouble for them. One day, while hunting, he got into a fight with his friends and just ran off into the bush. Later, for no apparent reason, he painted his entire family black and left them in their home. After that, he put on the dangerous suit, his coat, and the staff he was with, and began shooting out rays that hurt and blinded people. The natives did not understand. They couldn't. This was their leader whom they all respected. Their leader behaved like he was insane. However, it is one thing to be respected, it is another to seek survival. There was only one thing to do: let him go. Letting him go meant setting a trap in the same place he had arrived in. And when they succeeded, the unexpected happened. Almost immediately, there were thunder and lightning that shook the entire region. It was like Bepkororoti knew they wanted him gone, but he could not leave his family behind. A mysterious light from the sky reached his wife and son, who disappeared immediately. The last person to ascend was Bepkororoti, who entered space with a loud, violent bang and left behind a cloud of smoke, noise, and his pregnant daughter, Neopod. No, he didn't abandon her. He chose her to be his door, the one who would protect the people and call on him in times of trouble, as if he knew. Soon, trouble came. The absence of Bepkororoti was felt immediately throughout the village, and everything was in complete despair. Every plant and tree died, and animals fled the area due to the flying boat's loud explosion, which scared them away. This resulted in disease and famine, which devastated the tribe. The locals had a difficult time, and before they knew it, the food was running out. Neopod realized she had to act to save the tribe, saving her son and her family from starvation. She took her son, her husband, and herself to the waterfall where her father had first landed, doing what her father had done when they thought he was insane. She painted them all black, stayed by a tree, and performed a ritual that allowed her to call her father in her mind. At first, nothing happened, but then a flying boat reappeared above the tribe, carrying his wife and son, strange seeds, and medicine that no one in the tribe had ever seen before. He healed everyone who was ill and taught them how to plant those seeds so that the famine would never occur again. And he also apologized to the natives for years earlier when he had set fire to the forest. It is no surprise their proverbs state, "Heaven is the land of the people who live above, and the earth is in the sky of the people who live below." Bepkororoti had a significant and long-lasting influence on the Kuiper tribe. He instituted a new form of government in which leaders were selected by the tribal council based on their qualifications and abilities, much like in contemporary democracies. The tribe prospered like never before under his leadership. Bepkororoti rose to become the tribe's most revered warrior and leader as his influence grew. Generation after generation, his leadership and knowledge became renowned. He continues to be regarded as the genuine hero and head of the Kuiper people by the Cuban Crane Cane Group in Guarapara, Brazil. And that is it. What do you think of this story? Please share them in the comments section below. Also, do not forget to like and share this video with people who want to know more about the happenings of this world.